Hello, everybody. We are back again with the last conference of this afternoon and the last conference of the International FemHack. It's a real pleasure for me to present you Alinne, Shedid, and Kasia Adamowicz from Assembler School. Kasia is the co-founder and CEO at Assembler School of Software Engineering. For 7 years, she was the manager of Seed Rocket, helping ICT projects in their initial phases. She is a specialist in marketing online, social media, usability, and web analytics. Alinne is the talent and partnership manager of Assembler School of Software Engineering. She has a master in business administration and a master in human resources as well. Her specialty is international recruitment, career advising, and business development. Hello, Alinne and Kasia, how are you? It's up to you now. I let you start speaking whenever you want.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I hope you have had a great day today with all the conferences. And our conference is the last, but I hope it will be very useful and interesting for you guys. Of course, we want it to maintain the conference as participative as possible. So you can ask any questions you want. So I'm Kasia. I'm the COO and co-founder of Assembler School, and we will be talking about key aspects of the soft skills within the IT industry. But before popping into that part, which is very interesting, let me just tell you the story of Assembler in a few words. Assembler School was founded in 2019, so we've been, working on the market for the last 2.5 years, more or less, and we have been helping to train a lot of profiles in the IT industry, most of them mid-junior developers. So our mission at Assembler is to build the university of the future for tech profiles. And what is very important for us is to give access to every talented person in the IT industry to an excellent education. We also bet on the collaboration, and we focus 100% on employability while creating our programs, because the aim of Assembler School is not only to train excellent software developers, but also to land great jobs for them. And for that, we have created with Alinne our career hub, in which our students can find their dream jobs. We give them mentorship during the whole program. We work with a lot of tech companies that are of reference, not only in Spain, but also internationally. And we give them training during the whole program in not only in hard skills, but mostly in soft skills, which you will be learning about soon. And in our career hub, we give our students support during 5 years after graduation. So we do follow up on how they are doing in their jobs and whether we can help them, thanks to Alinne. So now let me introduce Alinne to you. She will be talking about this great topic. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Great. Thank you so much, Kasia. As Kasia was mentioning, at Assembler School, we give people a more advanced hard skill set. Still, many people don't have a strong set of soft skills. Hard skills based on technical or skilled work is crucial. So if you can code or market or speak another language, you will definitely get your foot in the door. You might even stand out more during an interview. But however, if you possess no interpersonal abilities or are unable to manage your work ethic, you will have a hard time being successful anywhere. In fact, you could even get yourself fired. So in the next slide, in this slide, we talk about in the previous slide, we talk about what are soft skills, And we mentioned here the interpersonal skills or people skills that can be used in every job. So soft skills are an essential part of improving one's ability to work with others and can have a positive influence on furthering your career. So soft skills are quickly becoming the quality most major companies are looking for in employees. When recruiting in the past, the better trained, the better educated candidate, we used to think this would render the better results. Fortunately, it has been proven wrong by HR experts, psychologists, sociologists, etc. So it's important to emphasize that recognizing that soft skills are indeed fundamental for any software development team, it's not enough. It is equally crucial that you work, or we work, on developing them constantly. So, sorry, again, now on the next slide, we have shared 5 very interesting facts of soft skills. Where you can see, we mentioned, no? One is, according to a paper, the class of 2030 by Microsoft and McKinsey, 30 to 40% of future jobs will depend on social emotional skills. The second fact is that in the UK, 97% of employers say that soft skills are key to business growth or success. The number 3 Stanford Research Center and Harvard University and Carnegie Foundation found that a whopping 85% of job success comes from excellent soft and people skills. Only 15% comes from technical skills. On the number 4, we mentioned that hiring managers are always searching for technical and relevant job experience, but 92% say that soft skills are more valuable than technical skills. 89% of the managers said, but hires usually don't have soft skills, and this is true. On the fact number 5, 4 trends are transforming your workplace. They are soft skills on a 91%, work flexibility at 72%, anti-harassment, it's the 71%, and pay transparency, it's the 53%. So on the next slide, we mention hard skills versus soft skills. Here we mentioned how hard skills are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify, so we understand better the difference. Soft skills are also known as people skills or interpersonal skills. So when we talk about hard skills, we talk about proficiency in a foreign language, a degree or certificate, maybe your typing speed, machine operation, or computer programming. And when we're talking about soft skills, we talk about communication, flexibility, leadership, teamwork, time management. So hard skills also refer to measurable abilities, include anything from mastering Photoshop to emergency care knowledge. You obtain hard skills through your education, through training, through certifications, and any professional experience you gain. Well, as we have mentioned, soft skills are also called people skills, and they are the mix of social and interpersonal skills, character traits, and professional attitudes that all jobs require. Teamwork, patience, time management, communication, there are just a few examples. Soft skills can be personality traits, or they can be traits obtained through life experiences. So on the next slide, we can see the most important skills to add on your CV. Here we talk about communication. As an IT employee, and remember that we're always talking about the IT sector. As an IT employee, you often have to explain technical processes in a clear, easy to understand terms for customers and employers or any colleague or peer that you might have. In terms of teamwork, qualities and abilities that allow you to work well with others during conversations, projects, meetings, or any other collaboration that you might have. When we talk about determination, it is important for an IT professional to stay focused on the ultimate goal and continue to work toward that result. When we talk about time management, when you can effectively manage your time, you're able to precisely maintain your schedule. When you know exactly what needs to be accomplished, and when it needs to be accomplished, work definitely becomes less taxing, which is something that's very, very important. When we talk about flexibility, you must be open to suggestions and feedback, whether from an employer or a client or any colleague that you might have. Listen attentively to any feedback you receive and be open to making necessary changes to improve satisfaction. When we talk about problem solving, you can improve your problem solving skills by familiarizing yourself with common issues in your industry and learning from more experienced employees. And we can see the types of skills. We see this slide. Just to mention you a few more, when we talk about communication, we talk about oral speaking capability, written, presenting, listening, because it's very wide, no? When you talk about communication, I mean, if you put on your CV good communication skills, what do you mean with communication, no? So we're talking about oral speaking capability, writing, presenting, listening, having a clear speech, and the writing. When we talk about courtesy, for example, we talk about manners, about business etiquette, if you're gracious, if you say please and thank you, when someone is very respectful. When we talk about flexibility, we're not only talking that that person is very flexible, we're talking about adaptability, willingness to change, lifelong learner, someone who accepts new things, who adjusts, and someone, of course, who is teachable. This is something that is very important inside of flexibility. When we talk about integrity, we're talking about someone who's honest, ethical, who has high morals, has personal values, someone who does what's right at the end. When we talk about different interpersonal skills, we're talking about someone who's nice, who's personable, who has a sense of humor, who's friendly, who's empathetic, who has a self-control in terms of patience, sociability, warmth, and social skills. When we talk about someone who has a positive attitude, no, in recruitment, we read a lot, no, this type of soft skills on your CV, and we're talking about positive attitude. We talk about someone who's optimistic, who's enthusiastic, who's encouraging, happy, someone who's confident. In terms of professionalism, no, someone who's business-like, someone who gives interest in their appearance as well. In terms of responsibility, someone who's accountable, reliable, who gets the job done, who is resourceful, someone who's self-disciplined, who wants to do well, or someone who has a common sense as well. To give a few more examples, we can talk about teamwork, no? We always listen this keyword, no? That recruiters or HR managers or CTOs or anyone who's hiring is looking for a team player, someone who does teamwork, no? We're talking about someone who's cooperative, someone who gets along with others, who is agreeable, who is supportive, someone who is helpful, who's collaborative. In terms of work ethic, we can talk about hardworking, willing to work, someone who's very loyal, who has initiative, or someone who's self-motivated, or someone who's always on time, who respects the time of others, no, and who has a good attendance, of course, on the job. So on the next slide, we mention how to stand or how to make your skills stand out to get the job. This is something that we think that it's very important. And as Kasia was saying, we train our students into technical skills, but as well, we have a program which refers to all these soft skills, no? So at the time when you're looking for a job, you say, okay, so I have this great soft skills. Now, how I make these skills stand out to get the job? What we recommend is first you add your skills to your CV. Include some of these skills in your resume, especially in the description of your work history and your resume summary, if you have one, or on one side as well. We're going to put an example, but we think that it's very important when you're reading a job description, when you're searching for a new job opportunity, you will always see a company who gives importance to soft skills when they are describing the role. Maybe they say someone who has experience with JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React, Node.js, MongoDB, PHP, Laravel, any technical skills that they require for that role. But you're going to see that on the side, they say we're looking for someone who has great communication skills, who is a team player, who has the ability to So they are mentioning the soft skills because for them, for their culture, it's very important. So you want to make sure that when you send your CV, you're not only mentioning your tech skills, you want to add your soft skills on your CV. So they can, when a recruiter reads your CV, then you're going to get the call because they say it's a match between soft and tech. So let's give this person a call. Also, we mentioned to highlight skills in your cover letter. Mention one or two of the skills listed in the job description again, and give specific examples of instances when you demonstrated these traits in prior work. It's very important. Again, a cover letter, it's something that a recruiter is going to read. Is the first step, your CV and the cover letter, to understand, so they can understand better your profile before talking to you. So you want to make sure you outstand these skills so they know that you are a right fit. And then when you get the opportunity to receive the call, make sure you mention these skills in your job interview. Keep the top skills listed in the job description in mind during your interview, and be prepared to give examples or how you've exemplified each skill that they are asking for. This is something that it's a must, and that it is very, very important. So on the next slide, we can see how to add those soft skills and tech skills on your CV. It's a very simple example, but imagine that you have your CV where you add, well, your name, etc., no? Or your personal details, you add your experience, you add your education. You want to make sure you outstand your tech skills and your soft skills, no? Not only on your cover letter, as we were saying, but before the interview, you want to make sure that you add these skills. So tech, and separate them. You can add either skills and then put tech and soft, and then put tech, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, no, as we were saying, jQuery, Node.js, any tech skills you have learned, not only recently, but the tech skills that you have worked with before, because you never know when you're applying for a job, and this is going to be something that is very going to be relevant for them, because you don't know if the company wants to work or has been working with X language, and now they want to work with another language or another framework. So this is important that you add all your knowledge in this side. And then, of course, add your soft skills: adaptability, collaboration, diversity, active listening, proactive, stress management. Anything that you think that you have that you want to add and that you know that it's important for that job, make sure that you add it on your CV. Okay, so now on the next slide, we would like to present a very short video regarding soft skills.
Let's hope it works, guys.
Yeah, let's see.
Nope. Just give me a second. I will try to do.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Take your time.
What we want to mention on this video is that you're not going to go to school and they're going to say, now open your book, no, and let's talk about your soft skills. We always talk that hopefully, no, and that we wish that when we were in university or we were studying, someone would talk to us about this, about the soft skills that you must have. And this doesn't happen in real life, no. So we want to make sure that we work on them, and that this is something that we have. Kasia, do you think you can put it? If not, I think I can add it.
Yeah, just a second, because my computer is really slow right now. Just a sec.
Don't worry, girls. We have time. Do not worry about that. Take your time.
Thank you so much.
We are already aware of technical problems during that kind of events. We have a lot of practice, so for us that is not a problem at all.
Kasia, let me present it if you want, so you can have the presentation still. No worries. Let me try. Okay? Yes, I think I can do it. Just let me know this is working. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, class. Turn to page 94 in your soft skills textbooks. You've probably never heard that before, have you? So why are soft skills important now? Throughout your life, you will be in school learning skills and information you need to pursue a job, such as mathematics, science, literature, history, art, and much more. But you don't walk into an interview immediately spitting out equations and scientific formulas, do you? Of course not. You show up on time, smile, shake a hand, be polite and respectful. These are soft skills. Whether you realize it or not, your soft skills are constantly impacting your life, your relationships at home, your school or work experience so far. Research shows that only 15% of workers' success is determined by what they know, hard skills. The other 85% of success is determined by soft skills.
When I worked in our congressional office, a lot of what we did was serving people in the community. That means you having a great handshake, a great smile. Are you following up? Are you getting the information? It's the attention to detail. So that's what's going to get you noticed. That's what's going to get you promoted.
Whether you are applying for the career of a lifetime or a small part-time summer job, good knowledge of soft skills is necessary to your success in that workplace. People can get promotions or get fired depending on how well they work in teams, communicate, and organize. It's called being an involver. That is the answer to why soft skills. They aren't just a set of skills. They can be a lifestyle preparing you for a brighter future. Be involved in your success with Microburst Learning's employability soft skills.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
What are soft skills in the workplace? We're going to look at the top 8.
Ya estamos.
Okay, perfect. We can see your screen now. Girls, are you still there?
Yes, I think Alinne is having some technical problems as well.
Okay. Alinne, are you there?
Sorry, I'm back. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Everything's fixed. We can see your screen now. We can see your faces as well. So keep on going.
Thank you. So on the next slide, we talk about how can we improve these soft skills. Okay, I get it. Some of them I have, some of them I don't. So the big question would be, can soft skills be trained? This is a good question. And the answer is no. Soft skills cannot be taught by definition, but they certainly can be learned and developed, not by demonstration, but by participation. So mastering soft skills takes a lot of work and open mind, motivation and discipline to want to take soft skills in a part of their life are very, very much needed. So how to improve these soft skills, no? We all have so much room for improvement and so much room to grow in terms of soft skills. We all eventually encounter situations showing a need for more soft skills as long as we are tuned enough to notice. So questions about how to improve soft skills or how to develop soft skills are a natural next step. If you are interested in learning how to improve your skills, we have mentioned a few strategies on how to improve these skills. No, we're always talking about prioritize which skills to develop, for example. No, so here every individual has a unique mixture of strengths and weaknesses. So we have to be very conscious about this. So you're naturally stronger in some soft skills areas than in others. So the very first step in learning how to develop soft skills is to prioritize them. Take some time to analyze what you consider to be areas of strength, as well as areas where you would like to improve. Compare this list to the skills that are most needful for your particular career path. No, that would be point number 1. Point number 2 is ask for feedback. So we're not always our own best judges. So at this point, it's a great idea to ask trusted friends or mentors or colleagues or your leads for feedback about your own soft skills, strengths, and weaknesses. So you should start by formulating your own list, but counseling with those who know you well will provide us like a solid outside perspective, because sometimes we're not objective. So this is why it's very important that we count with our colleagues or with our mentors or someone who we really trust and they know us. By asking others for feedback, you may reveal blind spots in your self-perception. If so, you'll have gained valuable insight into areas you otherwise wouldn't know how to improve. Point number 3, we mentioned step outside of your comfort zone. So most of us tend to exhibit stronger soft skills when we're comfortable. So for example, we're more perceptive, not to mention, of course, confident, around close friends than we are in the uncomfortable situation or business setting. So, to work on interpersonal settings or skills effectively, you must step outside your comfort zone and get into a setting you might not naturally gravitate to. If you're more of an introvert, you might sign up for a group activity or put yourself in a social situation that isn't entirely comfortable for you. Of course, you're not just doing this to be uncomfortable. You're doing this to improve your soft skills by applying a little necessary pressure. On point number 4, we're talking always about self-reflect. So self-reflection is a beneficial practice for just about everyone, but it takes intentionally in today's fast-paced world. So far too often, we move from one task or meeting to the next without much, if any, thought on how we presented ourselves or acted in the previous time slot. So where possible, scheduling some like short periods of self-reflection throughout the day. Think about the situations where you didn't get the response you expected, or where someone seemed to take you that wrong way, or about what you said, how you said it, and even how you postured yourself as you said that. You might just come across some startling observations about your behavior in those moments, and this can definitely help you to improve your soft skills over time. On number 5, we're talking about find online courses. So improving soft skills is not all internal, of course. You can find different, like all sorts of online courses and resources that will definitely help you to improve specific skills. This will range widely in quality, so we encourage you to stick with like reputable or good resources, like established universities. I mean, there are many programs in internet that you can find where you can find these online courses to start improving your soft skills. The next point that we mention is actively listening. So, listening well is an integral part of many of the soft skills discussed earlier. So, when you listen to understand, not merely to formulate a response, because this is something that we always do. No, when you listen, you don't listen to understand, but just to give an answer. So, actively listening can take many forms, but at the core, the goal is to listen well enough to be able to restart that other person content in a way that they would agree with, even if you disagree with them entirely. So it doesn't mean that you will agree with the other person, or always be always agreeing, no, with the rest of the team or the other person that you're talking to. But it means that you will show you truly understand their perspective and can represent it well, even if you disagree. This is something that is very important. So we talk about improved writing skills as well. Writing skills is a very important aspect of communication skills in today's connected world. So while video conferencing, face-to-face meetings, they do make a significant part of many office settings, if you are in the business world, you will be writing in a lot of emails, meeting notes, chat messages, etc. So make sure that you rely on your ability to type a message that is clear and easy to understand. If you know this is an area of weakness, or if you receive feedback from others telling you so, seek out some, as we said, no, there are many resources that will help you improve your writing skills. And the other point that we mentioned is work on critical thinking skills. So critical thinking in and out of itself, it's a soft skill, but it's a core ability of the center of most of them. So thinking reflectively for the purpose of self-improvement, it's critical thinking already. So it's wading through whatever feedback, direct or not, you get from your peers, from your colleagues, or from others about your communication. So work to improve your ability to be discerning and to think carefully before reacting. This is something that we never do, but we must think carefully before we react. So these abilities can significantly improve your communication and decision making as well over time. And last but not least, we add mimic. So to mimic is to put these soft skills you want to improve in practice. Ask for feedback. If you have a peer or a colleague that you admire, that you say, how does this person do this always? No, make sure that you talk to that person, and from where they learn, you can get so much information, and then they can inform you where they got such ability. Okay. So for our next slide, you can say that we talk about our conclusion. No? So considering all this, the conclusion would be that soft skills are more important than you think. So don't disregard them or underplay them when interviewing for a new position. Show your potential bosses evidence that you can work efficiently, effectively, and with other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, girls, for this presentation about these key soft skills within the IT industry. I'm sure that the public has appreciated so much. I have some questions that I will forward to you now, and let's see if you can answer them. I'm sure that yes. I will start with the first one, which is, in which situations soft skills can overcome technical skills?
It doesn't mean that they overcome technical skills, because we always put the example that, for example, you can be really good at the technical level, but if you cannot communicate, if you're not a good team player, if you're not a good colleague, if there is no way that anyone can work with you, then no matter your tech skills, because you're not going to get that job. But on the other hand, you might be an amazing person, but you do not have those technical skills that the company requires, then you're not going to get the job for IT. No? So we always talk about a balance between soft and tech. But it's very important to work. It's not only to work on your technical skills, but you must work on your soft skills to get that job. And then not only to get that job, but to maintain the job. I don't know if this answers to the question.
Yeah, I think it really answers. I mean, like, to have a balance, it's the best thing you can do, and most of the times we really forget about that soft skills training, which is an important thing. I think the message is important here. Like, within the IT industry, for sure you will have technical skills if you are already a developer, if you are already working for a tech industry. But what about soft skills? You have to train them, and it's not evident sometimes. And I think the good message is, like, you really have to train on that. So
actually, if I can add something, we at Assembler also, we look for the soft skills at the beginning of our admissions process. You can have, all the technical skills you want, but we also measure the soft skills, the potentiality of soft skills in our candidates. We have had some great candidates, but there is like this red light when you when you have the initial interview with them, that says, oh, that guy or that person might be conflictive. So
yeah,
it's really important to work with someone that doesn't have certain soft skills you require. Actually,
okay,
it's very difficult sometimes to change this person. So even when I interview someone for to hire at Assembler, I always try to make killer questions on soft skills, not only hard skills but soft skills, to evaluate them and to see whether this person really will be a good fit, a good team member.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thanks for your answer, girls. Another question. Do you think that a person with strong soft skills in communication, for instance, could be able to convince someone about his technical skills when maybe he or she is not that good on them?
Definitely. I mean, if I understood well the question, we all know that technical skills can get trained. So even if you're not really good at that language or that framework, you will work on that and you will get training. And then on the day by day, you're going to be an expert, or you're going to become an expert, or you're going to become better on that language or that framework that we're talking about. So if you have great skills, great soft skills, not always, as we were talking about, you will work on improve yourself every day. You will have commitment. You will have flexibility. You will be open to listen. You will be open to train. You will be teachable. So definitely this is something that you can earn through time. Soft skills are harder to improve, no? So of course it's much better, and recruiters know this nowadays, that someone who's not very good at the technical level, but someone who's teachable, someone who's open-minded, someone who's flexible, someone who is willing to learn, no, and eager to learn, and has this passion for that they're gonna have a great career, and they're gonna be successful for sure.
Okay, thank you. There's another question coming from the public that says, what can I do to identify my strengths in terms of soft skills?
This is a very good question. I think sometimes it's easier to identify your strengths than your weaknesses. I don't know if the public has happened this, no, when you go to an interview and they ask you, give me 3 examples of your strengths, no, and you're, I have great communication skills, I'm flexible, no, and give me your weaknesses, and you're like, bueno, I'm sure I have a weakness, no, at the moment it doesn't come up to. So we all know what we're really good at, no, and if not, again, get feedback. Talk to people that you work with. Talk to your mentors. Talk to your colleagues. No, when you're working in a team, everyone says, "Oh my God, how can she do this? She's so organized. She's so that." No, I remember I had a colleague that once he asked me, "No, Aline, how do you do this? How are you so organized?" I was like, "Well, I do this and that." No, he was like, "Oh my God, I improved so much on this." No, but talk to your colleagues. Everyone knows, no, what is difficult to work with you, why, no, and what room of improvement you have, and what strengths you have. Talk to people you trust. Again, this is something that it's very important, and people who know you well. But when you ask for feedback, you must be open to receive this, because sometimes we say, yes, tell me what room of improvement I have, no? And then when they tell you, you're like, well, that's not true, you know? But then there's no more to discuss, no? Because you're not open to listen, no? So when we ask for feedback, we must be open to listen. This is a key answer, no? But talk to your mentors, talk to people who know you, talk to your friends, because we apply our soft skills on our day-to-day, not only at work, but at home with our friends. When you go to the store, when you say good morning, good afternoon, hello, how are you? Everything. We always put in practice our soft skills. So the best way would be talk to people who know you, who work with you, and who you trust.
Okay, great. Do you think that being too honest regarding your weakness could have a negative impact?
Depends on what your weakness is, no? Because if you say, well, I don't know, I like to when I get upset, when I get very nervous, no, I get very anxious, and I start throwing things, no? Well, this is a weakness that you don't want to show in the company, no, of course. But the important thing of a weakness is not only presenting it, because we all have weaknesses and the companies know this, but the important thing of a weakness when you present it is, what are you doing to improve this? What are you doing to work on this? Because if you say, I'm super disorganized, every day when I leave the table, no, at the company, my cup of coffee is there, my tissues, my desk is a mess. Okay, so you're disorganized, but what are you doing to improve this? I make sure that every day before I close my computer, I make sure that I leave everything clean, I leave everything organized. Every day that I wake up, I make my bed, I fix up my clothes the night before. When you repeat these actions after 21 days, it's true, you will have this already developed, and this will be something that you're starting working on that. So it's not that important, unless you're saying that you're a thief, or that you have something that is really bad that you don't want to tell in the company. We always say that never lie, be honest. This is something that is very important. Don't lie. But of course, there's many weaknesses that can be, we're talking about a weakness that will be a problem when you're working with others. So if I'm very disorganized and I leave my cup of coffee and I leave my stuff there, I will be bothering others. When I go to a meeting room, if I leave everything a mess, I'm not being considerate with other people, no, that I work with. So if you start saying, but what I do is every day I do this and this, I put this in practice, I have an agenda, I have a calendar, I put 3 alarms on my mobile, then you're showing that you're open to work on your weaknesses. That's what matters when you present a weakness.
Okay, that's a super useful advice, I would say. Thank you for that. I think that you have already answered that during your presentation, but I will address the question anyways. Do you think that soft skills are innate or they can be achieved?
Yeah, it is a good question, because it does come because of your background, because of your interpersonal skills. You gain them from your life, no? From it depends a lot on the background that you had, no? You can definitely work on them, which is what we were mentioning, no? This is something that it's very important. But yes, they do come on the package, for a say.
Okay, thanks for that. Another question, do you think that highlighting your soft skills during either an interview or adding them into your CV could be taken sometimes as lack of humility?
This is a very good question, depending on what you mentioned, no? And it's a bit of the example that we were saying, when you go to an interview, no, and they ask you, give me 3 strengths, and you're like, well, I'm this, I'm so good at this, da, da, da. And then when they ask you for your weaknesses, you can't mention one, no? So maybe this is lack of humility, but no, it's not taken like that. It's finding a match, no? It's like dating, no? I always like the example of dating, because when you go out with someone, going to a company or to an interview is not just, it's like dating. When you go out dating, you don't say, I'm just looking for anyone, I really don't care, no, I enjoy riding bicycle, I love going to the mountain, I love exercising, I love watching series, I love, what are your passions, no? What are your motivations? So when you're dating someone, no, you try to find that match with that other person, no, that you have similar, for us say, similar things, no, or things in common. It's the same when you go to a company. Do we have things in common? Do we have the same passion? Do we have the same values? Do we believe in same stuff? Why you want to work here? I mean, what made you today apply for this job? You have to think of that when you're applying for a role. I mean, is it just the role? I don't care. I want to work as a front end developer no matter where. Or do I want to work for a company who has values, for a company who care for their people? Do I want to work for a company who wants to save or change the world? I mean, or do I just want any role? No. So always think about that. It's not lack of humility. It's just finding that match. Make sure that when you communicate it transparently and in an honest, and you work on your communication skills, no, and you transmit that you have the same values, that you believe in what they do, and that you want the same things. This is important.
Okay, let's go for another question. The publics want to know, do you think anyone can have soft skills? Or maybe, I guess that person would like to know if everybody has some soft skills, but there's people that has no soft skill at all.
This is a really good question, because of course, depending who has definitely a lack of soft skills, no? But if we're talking in terms of normality, for sure, we all have, as the same way that we all have so much room for improvement, everyone has so many good things inside of themselves. You just have to work on that. If you're really good at something, then try to improve that, so you're amazing on that, so people can rely on you, so people can take example from you. This is something that it's important. But of course, everyone has soft skills, everyone has strengths. We all have so many strengths, but just sometimes we worry on the day by day and we just don't see them. But you must, again, ask for feedback. Say, why do you keep me on this role? Why do you want me, no, to continue working with you? What am I really good at? When you're a bit lost, no? Or to your friends, why do you enjoy spending time with me, no? Or what made you say you are my best friend? No, well, I admire you because you're strong, and you're, no, I don't know. I mean, many strengths that we can have, but of course, everyone has them for sure.
Okay, thanks for that. And I think we will now address the last question, which is, do you think that perfectionism is a soft skill? If yes, it is a good or a bad one?
This is a great question, because many years ago, when searching for a job, it was very common that when you go to an interview, you would say, like, give me an example of a strength, and they were like, I'm a perfectionist. It's not a strength, it's a weakness. You lose time when you're a perfectionist. You lose time, you waste time, you miss deadlines, because there's always something to correct, there's always something to improve. You're never going to be satisfied with that. So it's not a strength, it's a weakness. But again, depending on what role, if you always say, I never miss deadlines, I work on my calendar. What I strongly suggest when someone is a perfectionist is, we all have tasks that we do not enjoy, admin tasks or etc., that we do not enjoy, no? So put the tasks that you hate the most, or put your targets very clear, your deadlines, on Thursday. And then when you have free time on Friday, do all those tasks that you really enjoy. Work on that web page, on those details, etc., no, that you really enjoy. So, but make sure on the interview that you say, I know it's a weakness, but I'm working on that. I have a calendar, I have an agenda. I always make sure that I never miss a deadline. And then I give me some, like, as a gift, no, 3 hours per week to work on all the little details that no one cares, but I care. Okay. And always, as well, talk to your mentors, to your colleagues. Do you think this is good enough? I mean, because for me, it will never be good enough, no? So your mentors will say, this is amazing, it's a great job. Okay, great. So on Friday, I have 3 hours extras, not to work on these little details.
Okay, thanks. Great for your answer, girls. Thanks for your presentation. I'm sure it has been really fulfilling, and it has been really interesting for the public. It has been really interesting for me, at least. So I would like you to thanks for your participation. I would like you to thank you as well for the grants that you are providing to our participants in the Female Only Hackathon competition. Thank you very much for that. It has been really interesting. And well, I hope to see you soon. And thanks for coming today and being part of the International FemHack.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
the opportunity.
a lot, guys. If you have any questions, you can see our emails here. Just pop us an email and we'll be
more than happy
to answer.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your evening.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And for the public, we will be back in 10 minutes with the closing of the International FemHack. See you now.